Fighters, today on the show, I am going to share with you the one key, crucial thing you must master if you want to build a crazy profitable business in the contracting industry. It's not learning how to sell, although that's important. It's not learning how to market, although that's really important. It's not knowing your numbers, although that's crucial as well. But this one thing, in my opinion, trumps them all. Let's go. All right, as I said, sales, knowing your numbers, marketing, those things are important if you want to scale your business. Raise your hand right now if you want to scale your business, if you want to grow, if you want to go, who's my ideal client, and I want 10 times more of them every year. I want whatever your profits are, I want 10 and 20 times the profit, okay? You should be raising your hand. Well, the one thing, you guys, that I have found, and it continues every year I'm in business, every year I'm growing and developing as a leader and learning new things, I'm constantly solidifying my belief in that the number one thing that you must be a master at is people. Okay, I call it the people game. If you do not have Winning the Contractor Fight, grab Winning the Contractor Fight at thecontractorfight.com/book. You can get it for free, plus shipping and handling. Okay, I want you to read the chapter on this, on the people game. There are a few different fears that pretty much every human being has. I'm not going to go into them, but one of the fears that all people have across all walks of life in society is what's called the fear of the outsider. All right? Like if you travel to the middle of the Amazon jungle, chances are they're going to put your head on a spike somewhere, right? Because you're the outsider and they don't know you, they don't trust you. And so people are constantly on guard for the outsider, the fear of the unknown, fear of unknown people. All right? So this fear drives the need for you as a leader to create community within your business. All right? And that's what I'm going to talk about today, is this one fear, the fear of the outsider. So again, this is about becoming a people expert. I want you to think of the people that you deal with on a macro level right now in your business, okay? Real macro level. You have your team and you have your clients or your prospects. So let's talk about each of those briefly, and hopefully this will open your eyes. So your clients, all right? Your clients are wondering who's going to show up at the house. They hired you, they liked you, you liked the salesperson, they were all dressed nice and they came in a nice wrapped truck and it's a pretty website, okay? But they still want to know who's going to be banging on my door, all right? It might be a 6'6" dude with a Fu Manchu and a bunch of tats, like one of my old companies had in it. It was actually my uncle's company, but one of our coworkers, that's what he looked like. We had a crew. I'm 5'10". Everybody on the crew was 6'3" or over. And they were all tatted up, and they were all, like just dudes. Greatest, loving, most loving people you'd ever meet in your life. But you look at them, if you're a little old lady opening the door and they're showing up on day one, you're like, who the fuck's the outsider, right? People want to know who's going to show up. They want to know what's going to happen once you're on their property. They want to know what they need to do to get ready for the invasion of your crew for several days on the project, okay? And so there's a couple things. So those are some of the fears of the outsider, okay? How can you create community before you go to their home? Before that guy knocks on the door, before you invade them, okay? Many times that's what it's like. Think about it. Chances are, if you're not paying attention to this, you sold a job a month or two ago, you put it on the schedule, you texted or called a couple days before, said, hey, we're coming Monday morning, and then boom, boom, boom on the door, and you got 6 guys standing in somebody's porch, okay? And it's like an invasion. You have to put yourself in that client's shoes. So, a couple things that you can do to reduce the fear of the outsider with your clients. Number one, send links to your team bios, okay, on your website. Tell us who they are. Tell us they have a family and they have kids and what they like to do and what they do on their free time, and they're active in their church. The guys I was talking to you about before, the one guy, the Fu Manchu dude, he's actually a minister, okay? He's literally a minister in northern Wisconsin right now, last I heard, okay? How about a short video introduction from the foreman? Hey, my name's Joe. I'm really excited, Mrs. Jones, to come out and do your project. I'm going to be knocking on your door at 4 o'clock on Tuesday to do your transfer the trust pre-job visit that we call it here in the fight, and make sure that we're all on the same page with the scope. See, now there's a familiar face when they knock on the door. All right. Another thing you could do is weekly updates on the schedule from your foreman doing the job or people on your company of, hey, what's going to happen next? We're still on track. Hey, we had an opening in the schedule. Maybe you can move it up or whatever it might be. Guys, content on your website that addresses the main concerns that's relevant to all those main concerns and questions that your client might have. Like, how do I get my house ready for the flooring company to come in? Well, do I have to move all these things? Guys, there's so many opportunities for you to build relationship and build community with your clients. The next one I want to talk about is how to build community with your team. All right, I want to paint a picture for you here. You ever hired a new person on the crew and nobody liked them? Okay. Every single time when I think back to running multiple crews, every time we put a new guy on the crew, nobody liked him. And they usually didn't like him because that guy they didn't like him initially because that guy was putting his best foot forward. He was clean. He was on time. He was working harder. He was more productive. And it was exposing the mediocrity in the other guys on the crew. All right. And we would hear things like, well, I don't like his attitude, or I'm not sure he's going to get along with us. His work really isn't that good. Okay. Because they're afraid of the outsider. What are they afraid of? He's going to take my spot. Okay. He's going to make me look bad. We could go on and on. So just like your clients, your own people fear the outsider as well. And so your role as a leader is to create a tight community, a tight-knit team where you believe, where you're fostering an environment and a culture where people love each other, they care about each other, they have each other's backs. And this is not always easy to do. I acknowledge that. All right. So it's our job to foster this positive connection and build relationships that ease this fear. Some of these ways that I talk about in the book, Winning the Contractor Fight, that I want to share with you here today could be things like on the guy's first day on the job. Okay. What if you had a welcome breakfast at the office or at the shop, or you met at the local restaurant and you had breakfast together? Or better yet, before his first day, make some of your key people in the team part of the hiring process and help them interview these people. Okay, because then they're helping you pick them, right? And they're more likely to like those people and not be intimidated by them. Like I said, company breakfast, you hand them their shirts and their own little business card and things like that. Make them feel part of the team. It could be weekly lunches. It could be going, celebrating major events in their life. All right. If my coworker is celebrating, the birth of a kid, all right, I'm more likely to connect with that person. Okay. Now they're not just a coworker, they're a friend. They're somebody that I care about. All right. Share those types of things. Go on a quarterly hike with your team. My mentor and old business partner, Steve Shinholzer, he did what he called truth hikes once a quarter, where his company would go off into the woods behind Steve's house. They'd walk single file, 6 or 8 of them at a time, and they would just have conversations about life. And Steve would always open it up and go, guys, how have I let you down? Let me have it. And it was an open environment where people could truly be themselves and share, and it created an incredible bond in the culture of his company. Okay. How about recognizing them for the good they do in each weekly company meeting that you're having? Okay. And you can highlight their personal things that are going on in their life. They bought a house, they bought a new car, somebody learned a new skill, bring them up, give them a gift card for gas or whatever, or, whatever you want to do, give them some tools and get the company clapping for them. Guys, there's so many things that you can do to foster community within your organization. All right. When you have these meetings, when you're together as a team, they can't be a bitch session, okay? We have to put our eyes on all the good things that are happening in our companies and all the good that people are doing in our companies. When you do that, you're more likely to push that fear of the outsider out the door and build a stronger company, not only internally with your team, but when you do that, that'll trickle on out to your customers and the people that you work with. Guys, I'm telling you, the faster you become a people expert, and by the way, you're never going to arrive, okay? You're always going to be growing, but commit to be, first and foremost, becoming a people expert, a communicator, somebody who pulls people together. You'll be blown away by how fast your company grows and how much profit there is at the end of the day. You guys rock. I got to roll. I'm out of here.